I had 3 questions for you I'd like to ask. The first one is, tell me about the design challenges you had at Guadalupe 5.
Well, the lot is kind of right on the edge of an established older neighborhood. So anytime we go into a project like this, even though there's it's multiple units, we need to make sure that it fits well with the neighborhood. So it's challenge, but it's also the opportunity of these projects to succeed. So that was one of the bigger items. And, it's kind of in an area where there's a little bit of commercial too, so we want to make sure that the project, made sure that it had a neighborhood sort of feel to it.
Yeah.
So that was, go ahead.
No, I really liked the live-work aspect of this.
That's right.
The front facing on the streets, I think you did an amazing job, still giving it some points for even little small yards in each one of those. I thought that was very interesting the way you solved that problem.
That was entirely the strategy, was to go ahead and put the single driveway in back hidden from the street, and that each unit would be sort of by itself, like a walk-up brownstone almost, like an East Coast style. And then you'd have a small yard in front if you had a pad, so friends could walk over and come to your front door as opposed to going to an elevator or a parking lot. So we wanted to make sure, even though there are multiple units, that had a real identity each unit, that people could feel like it was a real home.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite design elements of Guadalupe 5?
You know what I think I really like is each unit looks kind of, you can tell where each one starts and stops. So this is my unit, not the ones next door.
Gives privacy in each one of the units too.
That's exactly right.
Each one of those.
Right. So when you're in a unit, you don't really see anything else that's going on.
Or here.
That's right. We have 8 inches of concrete block in between each unit, so there's a lot of soundproofing. There's a lot of thought in how we wanted to make each unit feel entirely private, but still have it be sort of low maintenance with not an enormous yard. But also give you the things that you may not get in a house, like 3 stories with a rooftop deck, new construction, that's very well built. And some of the interior finishes, I think, turned out really well. The concrete block is an exterior finish, but it's also an interior finish. So it's kind of, it's part of our attitude of materials that are just sort of honest and simple, elegant, very warm, very friendly to sort of living up against. So we used wood on the stairs, kind of an unfinished concrete floor, solid stone countertops, long-lasting, durable materials. And then thinking about architecture and the materials is kind of like decorating with textures as opposed to stuff, as opposed to decorative items. So the finishes are really the highlight of the place.
What I like best is I really felt like it was comfortable in there. Like someone could be comfy in that environment, even surrounded by concrete or things we typically count as cold. Lots of light, lots of warm woods, lots of bright colors, and the texture point you made is actually really elegant with the glass and the stone and the wood and the bamboo elements in there. It was really well brought together.
Great. Yeah, I glad you picked up on that. Yeah, it has a real elemental kind of feel to it. So there's not a lot of faked out finishes going on. It's all very honest and straightforward. But you're right, it's the way light is brought into the space that really lights it up. So even though these units aren't, hugely wide, there is a big sense of space inside of each one.
Very, and it's functional space too.
That's right.
Not any wasted areas.
Right.
Okay. What did you like best of when you finished that project? You saw what was done. What did you like best about it?
Well, I thought the spaces felt really good. The way the kitchen's connected with the living rooms, and then you had other areas off of that. So the house had a real sense of division. It's not just a big room. I think, I'm all for modernism, but there's a tendency to have spaces that are, I think, too wide open, too undefined, where people don't know really how to live in it. So I think here we try to balance openness with also separations, kind of defining spaces. So in one space you may watch television, in another space you may have a home office, and the bedrooms all have adjacent sort of spaces next to them. So there's a real sort of hierarchy of spaces going on, and it's kind of a discovery as you walk up and down the stairs. The view changes, the light quality changes, the space is changing a little bit. I thought that was a nice sort of thing. Interesting
perspectives, especially as you're walking up and down the stairs and you catch different views of your living space and your workspace there. One of the particular things I like best about it is there's a huge demand for live workspaces, and I think that you captured the live, work, living in that project extremely well.
Great.
So, if someone wanted to get in touch with you, how do you suggest they get in touch with you?
I think email is great. You can go to our website, which is www.mhsudesign.com, or just call me. Number here is 706-4303, and just ask for Michael.
Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.